Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nickflanaganweakly. Also, those who identify as whatever they want, be it no identity, agender, asexual, what have you. I don't care. You are welcome to listen to the show. I am Nick Flanagan, or watch the show if you're one of my 14 YouTube viewers. Hi, I'm Nick. This is Nick Flanagan Weekly. I'm recording every day. I'm trying to of the Labor Day weekend. How is your Labor Day? Are you laboring? Are you in labor? Are you celebrating unions and labor? Have you thought about the fact that the existence of work unions might actually, although a very left-wing thing, conflict with environmental needs for us to save the planet? Who's better, unions or planet? These are the questions I have. These are the questions I ask the microphone when I'm alone. In case you haven't listened to the podcast before, I'm Nick. This is a podcast about how my brain is broken, how your brain might also be broken, and what kind of hilarity these broken brains can put together. This is not going to be a long one. I have to leave in and then I'll still be late. I'm late all the time. Can you forgive me, person listening? Let's start with the gratitude list. Gratitude list. Toxic people. No, that's the topic later. Toxic people. I want to talk about the concept of toxic people. I think I've talked about it before, but I had a thought today, and I'll just go back to it. I am grateful. This is the gratitude list. 3 things. What are you grateful for? Right? weaklypodcast@gmail.com. WEAKLY podcast@gmail.com. Haven't got much mail left lately. What's the deal with that? You should write me. Make me feel good. I'm grateful for transit. Not necessarily buses and streetcars. In Toronto, it's called the TTC. You got your MTA in New York City and all the other ones. BART in San Francisco. When it's not working, I call it Bad BART, which sounds like a Western villain. So transit, I'm not just talking about buses. I'm not just talking about trains. I'm talking about all of it. Planes, cars, walking, running, hitchhiking, hoverboards, e-bikes, e-cigarettes, if it happens to be one that when you puff, it moves you to another area. Anything that gets you to the next, bicycles, anything that gets you to the next place, flying carpets, anything that gets you to the next, teleportation, anything that gets you to the next area, the next place, where you want to be, that's where you should be. These things, where would we be without getting from point A to point B? We'd just be in point A the whole time. So then point A would be point B. Do you get my point? Other thing grateful for. Poop bags. I walked a dog today. I've walked a few dogs in my life. Imagine you didn't have those bags. It would just stay there. The earth would be way more ruined than it is. And look, I get it. The bags just hold the thing, and then the bags go somewhere, and there's just piles of those bags somewhere. But we'll get to figuring that out when we get to it. For now, I'm just glad I don't have to whip a poop into garbage with well, here's an invention we can do instead of poop bags. Get liquid nitrogen, right? Like everybody gets a liquid nitrogen canister from the government, and then it's got sort of a nozzle that lets you spray out the liquid nitrogen, and we liquid nitrogen freeze the poo. We take the tongs, and using the tongs, we place it in the garbage, frozen as the day is long. So actually, I'm grateful for the liquid nitrogen solution I've found for poo bags, which were not good enough. Thirdly, I'm grateful for shaving tools. I shave, so sue me. I'm not one of these beard people. Could be, although I've noticed some patchiness lately. No, I'm not a beard guy. I'm someone who needs to shave. My father had a beard. I'm not there yet, Get the little scissors, snip, snip, snip. Not ready for it. I just want to shave. And that razor Get that hot water on it, lather up that creme for the face, put on the post-shave stuff. Voila. If none of those things existed, I'd need to claw the hair off my face using long fingernails. I don't want to do it. Do you want to do it? No, you couldn't even hire someone to do that. Plus, I wouldn't have money because my beard would be too much. That's my gratitude list for the day. What's your gratitude list? You can support me on Patreon or Ko-Fi, Ko-fi. Check it out. Throw me a buck or two. Patreon.com/Nickflanagan, Ko-fi.com/Nickflanagan. The same thing. Alrighty. So 5 minutes in and I've said my promotional piece. So this is the second part. I'm only going to talk for a little bit longer and then I'll go. But everybody talks about toxic people. Talks about toxic people. Oh, got to get those toxic people out. I did another bath meditation today, second day in a row. New bath meditation, wanted to try a new one. I don't know about this bath meditation today. They were like, maybe you're drained from being exhausted, dealing with another person. And that's fine. I get it. People are exhausting. I was exhausted by people today, but that really made me think about this sort of culture, the fusing of spirituality with saying other people are toxic, which is like something a cult member would say. Ooh, toxic people can't come in the room. Yeah, he has a Metallica shirt. He is a toxic person. But people will just say, oh, get the toxic people out of your life, the people who are energy vampires, soul vampires. And it's like, okay, I get it. You don't want someone to whine to you. You don't want someone whose sadness forces them into a prison that is their own identity and they can't get out of it. So it seems like they're just not thinking of you and obsessed with who they are and all of their failings. So I think there's two things going on when you're dealing with so-called toxic people. First of all, maybe if they're self-absorbed, it means you're not getting the focus that you think you deserve because you also want to get attention because you are maybe a little self-absorbed. Ever think about that, doctor? But this is what I really think it is. I think it's just when we see negative traits in people and weakness, our urge is to get out. Our urge is to leave because maybe it reminds us of traits that we don't like about ourselves. Maybe it reminds us that we can't solve everything. I think in my life, I've really bumped up against people when I've been sad or frustrated and they say, well, how can we figure this out? And I just think, well, I'm not trying to figure this out. This is just the reality of the moment. I just want to say it out loud to maybe take away some of the power. But a lot of the time, it's our nature to want to help. And when we can't help, that can lead to resentment. And that can lead to finding someone toxic. Then on the other hand, there's setting boundaries, staying away, making time for yourself. This is all good stuff. I'm just saying it's not so much the action of disengaging with people or setting boundaries. It's calling them toxic people. I mean, they're not Chernobyl radioactive zombies barfing goo on you. They're just people who are all messed up. Or maybe you're all messed up and the toxic people are the normal people and you don't want to be around them. You ever think about that? Well, let you think about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the podcast. Or if you're one of the people on YouTube watching the podcast, check out theflans.com if you want to find out more about me. Review, rate, subscribe, do the Patreon or Ko-fi. That really helps. Also, I am doing a show to September 1st, and that's at 8 p.m. at the Transac. A.L. Senior, who's been on the podcast, Kate Boothman's going to perform, Michael Balazzo, Sir Callie. Daria. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. I am a fool. Matt Hutch from my old band Team Card Combo. 8 p.m. until late. Come down. It's always a good time. Thank you very much. Good night.